Welcome to Inside EMS, your gateway to the extraordinary mission of EMS, where stories of faith and action come to life. From bustling cities to the most remote villages, join us as we journey alongside our dedicated missionaries, witnessing the transformative power of their work. Allow us to bring you face to face with the victories and challenges of our mission field. Step into a world where hope meets action and faith changes lives. This is Inside EMS. Hello and welcome to Inside EMS, where we embark on a transformative journey through the heart of missions and evangelism. I am your host, Second Samchi Kesher, and today on Inside EMS, we bring you the story of one of our missionary in Malawi, a Cross Border Missionary. But before then, let's go on this quick break. We'll be right back.
Hello, I bring you season's compliments from all of us at EMS. It's such a great time, such a great opportunity for me to come again to you through this medium. It's been an amazing year. Culminating from last year, the dynamics of EMS have transformed and has improved so tremendously in every facet you can ever think of, whether it is church planting, whether it is missionary recruitment. We've added, I think, over 100 missionaries in just the last 6 months or so. And then our mission fields have grown and many other things are just happening. We are doing incredibly doing well because you stood by us. And so as we try to close this year, I want to sincerely thank you for all your prayers, and we've been prayed for more than anyone that I know. And so we thank you sincerely. Here again, we still mourn the loss of some of our missionaries who were killed and kidnapped, and those who died of natural causes. It's such a sad event, but such is life, and we thank you. Thank you for being with us all through this while. We pray that God's protection will be with all of you, and we pray that everything will work out well and things for you will all fall in pleasant places. Thank you sincerely for sticking with us. And I think that I should give you a report of what we are doing, especially financially, because your contributions have meant so much for us. This year has been a very good year in spite of the challenges, and I don't need to reiterate the challenges we have in this country. We all know them. The increase in fuel, the inflation in every respect. And I want you to know that in spite of this, our funding has improved tremendously. We have over 2,000 missionaries now, and so you know that is huge if we have to pay all of them. And we have a large deficit of income. We've launched so many initiatives. Those of you who are on my dinner platform, breakfast platform, you've done amazing things, and we are so grateful. You've stood for us. You've used what I always say, social capital. You've mobilized and galvanized people to be part of our funding, and it has been so tremendous. The direct remittance of monies from the offerings of the 2 mission weeks has improved our income. Some churches are still not remitting. Some are still doing second offering, which is wrong. If your church is out there and you're not remitting everything, it means that you are not being faithful to what we represent. So every offering that day, whether it is tithes, whether it is offering, whatever it is direct to EMS. I've seen churches who do second collection. That is absolutely wrong. I've said this before and I'm saying it again. We can end financial crisis in EMS and usher in a robust mission opportunity that we have never seen. It does appear that all our dreams about EMS is about to come true. I want to sincerely thank you for your support all through these years, and especially in the last 1 year and 2 years and 3 years. But this is what is important for me. Can you join me in this campaign? A Christmas with a missionary. Okay, the reason why I'm launching a Christmas with a missionary is so that you can think about how you spend your Christmas. Just say, okay, this year I'm going to just fund one person. Maybe you think of buying a chicken for the missionary, send that money for that chicken. Just determine this year. Last year, my daughter did something. She sent money for one missionary and she sent 10,000 naira. And so I'm expecting students and applicants and people, everybody to just donate to this cause. I'm boarding every day when I see missionaries have to go through intense pain. Last month or so, I went to an expedition with my colleagues and we saw a lot of things in the mission field. We saw how they are struggling. I raised some money personally to give some of them, but even just giving a missionary 5,000 naira is a lot because some of them are really struggling, no food. And you know what? Some of them can't farm anymore very well. Do you know why? Because a bag of fertilizer is more than their salary. So how can they survive? And some of them are also facing areas where there are insurgencies, and those things are very tough for them to live. And that is why I'm launching this campaign. We will not be able to increase their salary until we deal with this. It's been wonderful trusting us and especially trusting me with your resources. And I tell you, we are doing incredibly well. May God bless you. Here is again to wish you a Merry Christmas and a wonderful New Year ahead. God bless.
Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned on Inside EMS, your one and only window through the hearts of missions and evangelism. Like I said earlier on, we have a missionary who will be speaking to us. Though a Nigerian, but he is out there in the field in Malawi. Remember, you know the saying that let none idly hear you idly saying that there is nothing I can do when the souls of many are dying, the souls of many are perishing. So God has called us to take the task that He has given us and do it gladly, so that we will bring so many souls to the saving knowledge of His word. Now we have with us Mr. Reverend Johanna. It's a John Mama, who will be talking to us about his experience. He'll be sharing with us. He is out there spreading the love of Jesus Christ and making the difference, not in Nigeria, but in the country of Malawi. Hello, sir. Welcome, and we're glad to have you on Inside EMS.
Thank you very much. Hello, viewers.
Yeah, so please go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us how you found yourself in Malawi.
All right. My name is Reverend Johanna John Mamman. Of course, I'm a missionary serving in the Republic of Malawi. I was a missionary under the Home Missions for about 2 years, and after which I was transferred to go and serve across the border in the Republic of Malawi. Yeah, and I know one of the covenant we entered with God, with my wife, was that wherever we are sent to as missionaries, we will go as long as people are living there. So to some extent, that was what really motivated us to answer.
Okay, so how has the experience? How long have you been in Malawi?
6 years.
Is that your first cross-border country?
Very well.
Okay, so how has the experience been?
Good, bad, ugly. In summary, yeah.
Okay, so let's take it this way: the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay, let me begin with the good. It's really interesting to answer the call as a Christian, and not just answering the call, to be sent out as a missionary, fulfilling the mandate Jesus left with us. So it's really a thing of honor. It's exciting, to have this feeling of fulfilling God's mandate. So for me, everything surrounding it's good from that context. And then the bad is leaving your comfort zone, leaving your family, leaving the life you're accustomed to, friends and all of those things, and then going to a place where it's all you and your family. Nothing more, nothing less. Almost like that, you know. Well, the difference is Abraham never knew where he was being sent to. But in our case, we were asked to go to Malawi. At least you have this leverage of, you know, researching and, you know, getting to know a little about the country. Yeah, so that being said, it's really, really, to some imagine being in Nigeria. If a lady gives birth, you have people all around, you know, her. But then in Malawi, giving birth, it's just my wife and herself alone, bathing the kids, and then, you know, so this is just a little amongst the many of the aspect of the birth, you know. And then, of course, ugly, talking about the warfare, you know, where you see confrontation, physical confrontation, spiritual but physically people coming to attack you, you know, by all means of mysterious, what is the word? You know, being attacked spiritually, but then they are coming physically, you know, to render their attack and stuff. So it's really, really ugly. There was this day we came to the church in the morning, and then, of course, right in front of our gate, somebody came and dropped a big charm with, you know, one kind of mysterious writing, colors and all of those, you know. And then, of course, when we came, we met some of our members outside because they couldn't go into the church because they were scared, you know. But when we came and then we prayed, we got some fuel, and then we burnt down the whole thing, and then life goes on. So these are a few out of the so many, you know, of the ugly parts. So like I said, it's good, bad, and ugly.
Okay, so in Malawi, what is their lingua franca?
Chichewa.
Chichewa. Okay, so I'm sure you have never heard Chichewa from anywhere.
Never.
Okay, so how was integrating and finding a balance with a new language and all that? Do they speak English at all?
Oh, wow. Do they speak English? Yes, to some extent. Funny enough, Malawi is supposed to be an Anglophone country, just like Nigeria, because they were colonized by Britain. But if I will be generous, I will say 80% of the Malawians cannot understand and speak English. Otherwise, I would have said 95%.
What?
You know, you could see a young man, well-dressed, and then speaking English, he will respond in Chichewa, you know. So we're left with no option than to learn the language. We're still learning, but at least being there for 6 years, we could find our way in and around the country, you know, speaking the language. So at first, there's a huge disconnect between us and the people, you know, and sometimes for you to really get around in the marketplaces and other places, you have to find an indigenous person. And one funny thing with them, like the experience going to the market, is you can't be buying stuff without buying whatever you're buying to the person, you know, that escorted you, that is leading you. So that's the funny part. And the moment you speak English, your price tag, it's different. Something that you should buy it, you know, at a price, but because you speak English, they will triple the price, you know. So it's really, really an experience. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the church itself. How is the church there in Malawi?
I wasn't the first missionary that worked there.
Okay.
I'm the second. So my predecessor had worked for 5 years, you know, planting churches. So we came on board and then we took up the work from where he stopped, you know. So, but I will say that there are quite a number of churches. Actually, our work cut across Malawi and Mozambique, a part of Mozambique. So it's more like saying we're reaching out to two people group. Even though the Mozambique part are still Chichewa speaking, people. But then, like I said, there are quite a few churches that God has brought our way, and so far so good. The message is being spread, and then the people are really being transformed.
I know that Nigerians, to some extent, are very hospitable. However you look at it, Nigerians are very hospitable. I remember speaking to the missionary, the former missionary, the Ghanaian missionaries, and they spoke about how they have trust issues because there is this stereotype about against Nigerians living in Ghana. Well, they say once bitten, twice shy, and you learn from experiences. They must have had bad experiences from the bad eggs that have gone there. How would you say the people of Malawi, is there any stereotype that they have against Nigerians, or were they receptive, were they hospitable and all that?
To some extent, that is really, really difficult to answer. Difficult in the sense that I see it more like a mixed feeling, A Malawian, with all due respect, would come close to you to show you hospitality if he thinks he will get something in return. So in other words, nothing goes for free in Malawi, So from that angle, I wouldn't say that they are receptive, and at the same time, I wouldn't say that they are not. But then they can only be good to you when they stand to chance. Yes, when they are getting something from you. And they have this, how do I put it? They have this tendency of, always standing for themselves as against a foreigner, Once the Malawian says we are Malawian, you know that the whole thing would have to change, So they have this thing, they can cover for themselves against you, the foreigner.
Okay, so with that, how has it affected your job, your work?
Like I said, we were the second missionaries to work in Malawi.
Okay, so it's like the ground has already been leveled for you.
And I will always respect and appreciate Reverend Lazarus Sukukum and his wife, Esme Agnes. To some extent, I always say that they've taken most of the blows for us. We still find some difficulties, but to be honest, they have to some extent leveled the ground. Yeah.
Okay, so are there strategies now that you're there, even though the ground has been leveled, are there strategies that you still use? There's still room for improvement. So what are some of those strategies you use?
You see, for me, it's difficult to reach out to a country that is supposedly a Christian country, So that is what Malawi is. Malawi is considered to be a Christian country, so much so that, reaching out to, that kind of...
It's like you're coming to tell us what we already know.
Exactly, So it's, for me, it's easier to reach out to the people group that have never even known Christ or anything. You could be talking to a young man and he will even quote some scriptures for you, But having said that, two things basically. The grace message came with a different dimension of the gospel. That when you stand to reach out to people, they will have to sit down and listen to what you're telling them because they've never heard what the angle you're coming from. All they were accustomed to is the prosperity thing, the miracle, and what have you. But the grace message has really, really penetrated them. So it's one of the strategies that is being used. And then getting to be exposed, to VCR, Viable Community Initiative, that also it's making a great impact. In fact, I see it like the practical aspect of what we're doing in Malawi. Because there is I haven't seen a community yet that I will go into, whether Islam or animist, whatever kind of community that will reject VCI. VCI is like magical. It's something that, penetrates, and then it's really, really making impact. Yeah, so for me, these are the two strategies that we employ in Malawi, the grace message as well as the VCI.
And it has been very helpful.
It is. It's
Okay.
still been helpful.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I wished your wife was here. I wanted to ask her something, but what are some of those testimonies you have to share?
From the angle of my wife?
No, from
Okay,
your...
from generally.
Generally, yes.
Testimony. Well, I will say, because of the impact of the gospel, to some extent, Malawians have this perspective of receiving handout, not only from the Christian angle, but the country entirely. Malawi is such a poor country, whereby they depend solely on, foreign support, So the moment they see you, they expect that you do things for them. But because of the effect of the gospel, I see that as a testimony that one of the biggest church that is situated within the township, have purchased their own land by their own money, and hopefully by next year they will begin to put up a foundation, for the church building. And prior to that, we kind of try to, get the entire church, to support the work, because EMS through Equa had purchased a very big land for us in one of the choice neighborhood in Blantyre. So, but it has been lying down like that. So, but God helping us, we try to get the people to really, really contribute into it. A large part of the contribution came from us, from the support we get from the people. But giving them this sense of belonging, they too also contributed to it. So I see that as a miracle. I see that as a testimony, coming from that angle. And of course, the church that had purchased their own land, and then they didn't just stop there. They are trying to see how they can mobilize themselves, to build the church. And there are about 2 or 3 churches that are currently, following suit. Like one of the church I visited shortly before I traveled, they had already molded their bricks and they have burnt it. So they wanted to begin the building of the church. I told them that no, they have to wait, because I intend that we should use cement to build the church, because we've experienced situation whereby the church kept falling. So I told them that they should hold on. Let's trust God to get some, cement. So from the physical aspect, I see that as a testimony. And then 2021, we carried out an evaluation to see how these people are growing spiritually. And to our amazement, it was wonderful. It was so wow. We thought that we were just doing stuff without really having any impact, but the evaluation has helped us to see the level of the spirituality they were in. It used to be that if you ask a Malawian, if you die today, where will you go to? He will tell you that I will go to hell. Why? Because I have sinned. But are you not a Christian? You say, yes, I am a Christian, but I sin. I remember one old man, I asked him that, do you sin yesterday? He said, no. Why? He said, because he all through the day, he was at home. He didn't go out. So his own perspective is when he goes out, that is when he sins. But over time, that has changed drastically. A typical Malawian, a typical Equa member, when you ask him, he is so sure of his salvation. He tells you confidently that if I die today, I will make heaven. So it's really a testimony.
Okay, so because of the land and stuff and other things that you mentioned, I would say that can you take this time to call for support in the areas that you think that you need support in your field?
Life in Malawi, it's very, very expensive, you know. So it's so much is like saying the economy is in the hands of the foreigners. So if we can be supported, since these people have shown some level of responsibility, I think it will really, really be good for them to be encouraged. Once they see support coming, they will understand that indeed the church in Nigeria is with them. Though we kept telling them that even in Nigeria things have become so difficult, you know, but then I think support is very, very important. In fact, we need support more than ever before, you know, because when you want to build, when you talk about building, the prices of things have gone like 4 times what it used to be. So you can imagine. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for talking to us. Any final thoughts?
This is to our supporters. We really want to appreciate you. Don't be tired. And there are quite a number of you out there that we don't even know you, but you kept sending your support, you know, consistently. We want to tell you that the Lord is really, really doing a tremendous thing in Malawi. And we might not see the number that we require, but believe you me, God is really, really turning hearts each and every day in Malawi. So keep supporting, keep praying. We know you're praying, but extend that level of support by giving. It will go a long way. Remember, you cannot go, but we have sacrificed to go on your behalf. The little you can do is to support us by giving your resources, you know, to eat the work. So thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, the Great Commission is everyone's responsibility. Remember, there are more than one ways in which you can be a part of mission and evangelism. You can preach, you can pray, and you can pay with your resources and material things. Give it for the work of missions. You have heard the story in the Malawian field, and you have seen it for yourself straight from the horse's mouth. What are those things that they need? Malawi is a country that is really struggling, and God has put you in the position to be of help. Continue to support mission, continue to pray for mission, and God will bless you. Well, that has been it for us on the Inside EMS. Remember that you too can be a part of what God is doing in the heart of missions and evangelism. Your generous prayers, your contributions will go a long way in fostering and making evangelism, mission and evangelism thrive all over the world. Continue to spread the love and make a difference. My name is Second Samchi, and I am saying bye for now.